What's up, guys? It's Parnellyx, and this is going to be my final jungle guide, probably, of Season 11. Going over my current favorite build, and possibly one of the best builds for Warwick at the moment. It honestly might be the best build. I've only been playing this for a couple of weeks, but it's really, really fun. It's really different and niche, and it's just... I enjoy it more than the tank builds, surprisingly, because it fits my playstyle, carry playstyle. We love it here. It is Kraken Slayer Warwick. And it's not just simply the build. If it was just simply the build, I would make this video much shorter. But there actually is more to it. So I'm going to make this more of a, kind of a semi-complete guide. I'm just going to briefly just talk about the setup. And then I'll go over the gameplay, or I'll show you a gameplay example, so you guys know how I play it and make the most use out of it, because it did require some playstyle adjustments over the course of like a couple of days for me to really figure it out. But once I figured it out, this build really, I saw the light. I saw the light, and it made me a believer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just talk about the Kraken Slayer Warwick setup. So summoner spells, flash smite, pretty simple. This is the first video you've seen from me. I normally explain these things, but I've done it in a couple of videos previously. So yeah, summoner spells, flash smite, I explained them before if you were curious about that. Jungle routes, I'm actually going to link in the description. I'm not going to go over it because it's the same jungle route as I've been running all season. That video will also include tips and advice as to how to clear faster with Warwick in the jungle, as opposed to just, it's not just the route. There's actually more to it, so check that out if you're wanting to perfect your clear. As for the rune setup, it's going to be similar to what we've run with Warwick before, but a little bit different. So your primary tree is going to be precision, what we always run with Warwick. Press the attack, triumph, legend alacrity, or legend tenacity, and last stand. You can go Conquer with this setup, but I go it very rarely. The only time I'd run Conquer is against very tanky or bruisery team comps that you're not going to be able to burst down. Because you are running like, very high damage with this build, press the attack will give you a ton of bursts that will allow you to like one-shot squishies and stuff. So usually press the attack is going to be good. Even if you can't one-shot people, it's still going to increase that time to kill by quite a decent amount, but yeah, only run Conquer versus very tanky teams. For your secondary tree, you're going to be running Domination. Normally I don't run Domination, but something like Resolve won't work quite as well with this build, considering you're changing up your playstyle and you're not going to be diving in to the backline. So the tankiness isn't going to be as efficient. But you're going to go Relentless Hunter, which will give you movement speed around the map, of course. After a couple kills, you basically get boosted mobility. And then Eyeball Collection, which will just give you more damage by the mid game, late game, help you burst people harder and just deal more damage. And then of course with your your rune stats, you're going to go attack speed, adaptive force, and then defensive. I usually default to like armor, but you can go MR or you can go scaling health depending on. Usually it depends on what jungler I'm playing against. If I'm playing against an AD jungler, I'll go armor. If I'm playing against a magic damage jungler, I'll go MR. Or if I'm just playing against a really weak jungler that I don't really care about what damage they deal, then I'll go scaling health sometimes. There's all the other factors you can consider, such as the mid laner, support, stuff like that. But that's generally speaking how I make that decision. So those are the runes for Warwick. It's pretty strict, but they're effective. Skill order is going to be pretty standard and simple. Start Q, get W second, E third, what you normally do in Warwick. R whenever you can, and then max W into Q into E. But before we get into the items, I just want to briefly talk about Warwick's playstyle with this build and this setup. Overall, you're going to be more of like a skirmisher and a front to back fighter. You're not going to be playing much dive. You're going to be just hitting the front line and just shredding kids. Early game, comparing this build to tank Warwick, you're going to spike a lot faster because of the fact that you'll be able to build a Noon Quiver early, which increases your clear speed better than like anything besides Tiamat. So your clear speed's gonna be faster. You'll be building attack damage, which actually gives you just way more value in the early mid game. So that is one of the big bonuses of this build. But yeah, once you have your Kraken Slayer and you start building into other items, you're going to be just dealing a ton of damage. So you're going to be playing more front to back, but you're also going to be relatively tanky to the point where you can actually like eat some range damage. So you'll have plenty of bonus health from like Titanic. You're going to be building into Asterix and stuff like that. So even if you are like getting hit by the ADC and stuff, it's not going to be a big deal, and you should be able to clean up. This build has a ton of just like insane like turnaround potential in fights once you get going. And on top of the fact that your pick potential is pretty insane, like I said, when you have PTA, when you have Kraken Slayer, you ult someone, it does like 80% of a squishy's health, and you can just like one-shot people, which is pretty insane. As far as scaling is concerned, it scales like, it feels pretty good like the entire game. Pretty like, there's no like big power spike, but it's just solid the entire game. It's solid early game, solid mid game, solid late game. Never feels bad. Never feels like absolutely amazing, but it never feels bad for sure. So it's just a very well-rounded build that's a little bit faster than the tank builds, which I think is one of the reasons why I'm liking it. You're not just sitting and waiting for your items to feel relevant and then, you know, your teammates die and you FF at 20 minutes. No, you can get into the action a lot faster. You can snowball much quicker. Yeah, that's basically the play style of, you know, Kraken Slayer Warwick is just going to be more of a skirmisher, more of a front to back DPS champion. So the build is going to look something like this. You're going to go jungle smite item, either blue smite or a red smite. Generally speaking, I'm a big fan of red smite on Warwick, but with this build in particular, I often actually spec into blue smite. You have so much dueling power that you're not going to need the damage reduction from red smite as much. And then also the fact that because you have so much DPS, the blue smite can help you gap close versus champions so that you can get on top of them and then just shred them to pieces. So yeah, if you're playing against a lot of ranged champions or just any champions that are kitey in general, blue smite can be fantastic. And is what I'll run probably like 70% of the time in my recent games, I guess. So that's what I recommend. And then besides, you know, your jungle item, you want to run one single HP pot. You can also buy control word as well. It's really up to you, but I recommend 1 HP pot so that you can save for your Tiamat. And this 1 HP pot is not going to be used for sustain in the jungle. Warwick sustain is good enough, but you do want to save it for an early fight so that you have more healing and you become more obnoxious to kill. So if you pop the HP pot at like a level 3 scuttle crab fight or a gank, something like that, you'll be healing more and it can turn the fight around and improve your early game basically. So that's the only reason you use it. It's 50 gold, can win you an early game fight, so you might as well take it and just pop it early in the fight. On your first recall, of course, you're going to be building Tiamat. You know, what else would you build? But after your Tiamat, you're going to be building into Noon Quiver. Noon Quiver plus Tiamat gives you such an insane clear. It's not even just your clear also that's really good. It gives a lot of AD overall. So you're going to be a pretty strong threat in the early game. And yeah, you're going to like clear like a madman. You'll have a bunch of AoE with Tiamat. You'll have a bunch of single target damage to Noon Quiver. You're not going to have the fastest clear in the game by any means, but your clear is going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty damn good, especially for Warwick. So it's just a really strong spike to have. Plus, building into Noon Quiver isn't that bad. You have long swords and stuff, so we take that. Of course, you can build Boots of Speed afterwards if you want. Sometimes you can build into your Mythic if you have enough gold, but if you saved up for it. But yeah, boots are good to build here if you want. And after you build those items, you're going to be rushing Kraken Slayer. This is the meat of the build. Now, one thing I do want to mention, because people are probably going to have some questions about this later on in the build. You know, this is going to be your only full damage item-y build. You're not going to be building crit on Warwick. Crit is honestly not a good stat in Warwick at all. It's on Kraken Slayer, so you'll take it. It's no big deal to have, but it's not something you want. You don't want to be building a Bloodthirster or building into like IE or something like that. I'll be happy to try to experiment and make it work, but I know it's not that good. So that's the only thing I want to say. But Kraken Slayer just gives you really good clear speed, tons of damage, tons of burst. It applies on your Q, applies on your R. It actually, when you proc Kraken Slayer during your ultimate, it actually heals you based off of that damage. So you can actually like turn fights around big time that way. And yeah, it's just a really nice power spike. After Kraken Slayer, you'll be finishing Titanic Hydra because of the fact that, of course, you already built into Tiamat. I mean, that's honestly the main reason, but also it synergizes really well with this build because of the on-hit damage it provides. Plus the little bit of health that it gives you is going to be enough to make sure you're not getting one shot early in these early to mid-game fights. Afterwards, you're going to be building Asterix Gauge. Asterix Gauge is you'll build this most of the time. You can build other items besides Stairx here, but 90% of the time we're gonna go Stairx because it just gives you that all-around defensive power. No matter what happens to you, if you get chunked, no matter who's dealing damage to you, if you get chunked, you're gonna get the shield's gonna pop. It's gonna prevent you from getting one shot. That is all this item just prevents you from getting popped in fights, basically. Because again, you are relatively squishy, you have lots of damage, so this is going to be good in almost every situation. The only time I'd consider not building it is if they have serpents, or if they're like a very heavy AP team, and in which case Wits End would be better here to get ASAP. But generally speaking, Stairx is going to be your third item, not including boots. Speaking of boots though, your boot options are going to be a little bit different than normal. You got your plated steel caps and you got your merc treads. Those are going to be your 1 and 2 option. If they have a lot of attack-based champions, a lot of AD, plated steel caps are fantastic. Merc treads, great if you need tenacity, obviously. But instead of going something like CDR boots, which you can run with this build, but I'm not going to really recommend it because it's very situational. It doesn't synergize too well with the build because you're mostly on hit. Berserker Greaves. Berserker Greaves are going to be fantastic here. So Berserker Greaves, I only run these if plated steel caps and merc treads aren't good. But yeah, if neither of those options really appeal to you, then Berserker Greaves is going to be great because it just gives you more DPS and it gives you better clear speed and it's all fun. After that, these are going to be your main items you'll build after the fact. Some combination of Wits End, Death's Dance, and Guardian Angel. Wits End is going to be your go-to AP or MR option. Of course, it synergizes super well with an on-hit build. Death's Dance is going to be your go-to... Well, I don't want to say it's going to be your go-to AD option, but it's going to be one of them. Just makes you... It just synergizes super well with Warwick because it allows you to survive and heal for much, much longer, and the stats are just perfect for Warwick. And then your other AD option, which you're not always going to build for the armor. Sometimes you just build it for the effect, but nonetheless is going to be Guardian Angel. Now, of course, one of the benefits of Guardian Angel is the fact you can get a stopwatch. So if you're have a Baron fight coming up and you can't decide if you want the Death's Dance or the Guardian Angel, I would probably just grab a stopwatch and spec into the Guardian Angel later on. That is one thing that of course you can do. But these are going to be the 3 items that you're probably going to build after the fact. Although there are other options. The other options being Serpent's Fang. Situationally is going to be good if they have a lot of shields. So if they're very, very shield heavy team, you can go Serpent's Fang. Works really well with Titanic Hydra because you get that AoE cleave. So you'll apply Serpent's Fang to everyone that your Titanic Hydra hits, which is pretty nice. On a similar note, you can get, Chempunk Chainsword for the anti-heal. You can go with Thornmail as well, but because of the fact that you have Titanic Hydra and you're already building with this playstyle, you're probably going to be, playing more front to back, and you're not going to get as much value out of Thornmail, generally speaking. So I think Chempunk Chainsword is going to be better most of the time if you want the Grievous Wounds, but hopefully you're not the person that has to build it. If you have to, go for it. It's no big deal, but you'd rather not with this build, so you can build more defensive options. And then you can, of course, go something like a Randuin's. Randuin's is really good if they have a lot of AD champions, specifically crit champions. If they have a Trinomir and a Caitlyn and a Yasuo, something like that. I guess that's a lot. You definitely build Randuin's there, but if they have 2 or more crit champions, or if they just have one really, really fed crit champion, Randuin's can be very good for an armor option. And then lastly, your next MR option is going to be Abyssal Mask. Only build Abyssal Mask after you built Wits End. Wits End's just better in almost every way with this build, but Abyssal Mask is also pretty good. It's just not as good as Wits End. So if you need more MR, go for Abyssal Mask. But yeah, that's gonna be just Warwick's build in general. It's not too complicated, not too special. Like I said, Kraken Slayer is gonna be your main damage item. You're not going to want to build much more damage because you need tankiness, so you're not getting one shot in fights. Warwick's base stats are honestly horrible for a melee champion. They're they're pretty bad, so you definitely need some tanky items. Just Kraken Slayer is good enough. I don't even recommend something like Bork, which is a pretty good item in Warwick in general, but it's overkill. Your build's going to, most of the time, you're going to be doing enough damage. There's going to be some rare situation where you need Bork, but most of the time, this is fine. So these are going to be the only items I'll really recommend, and you stick to. So, yep, this is Kraken Slayer Warwick, and I'll just go ahead and just show you guys some gameplay and explain, what's happening. Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be a Kraken Slayer Warwick gameplay, and I'm just going to go ahead and just explain some things, and yeah, just show you guys how to play this playstyle, this build and setup and everything. Unfortunately, I'm like a minute late, but well, with starting the recording because I was having some issues, but it's no big deal. We started Blue Smite and Red Trinket, and we're starting this. We're going to be starting Red because of the fact that it's a melee versus melee topside. Also sets taking ignite instead of TP. Really easy lane to go for a gank here. Really easy to decide to go for a gank top. So I'm going to be pathing up here. Of course, we're playing against a Jarvan, so he might get the first gank. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. We'll kite the wolves up to our blue. And I think after this blue, I might actually go for a gank here. I'm definitely looking for a gank. See this positioning for set? This is a free gank. Of course, there are minions, but I don't think you need to worry about minions. Not Darius Warwick. I mean, set could go super ham and... Alright, my Darius could die like that. No comment there. We got the kill, but he just did not need to die there at all. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that as is. I'll honestly take it. Honest to God. Yeah, it's fine. Helps me a lot. I missed the fear there on the crab, which would have broken the shield. That is pretty bad. But because this is a set top with no TP and the wave is the way it is, I'm actually going to be looking for a repeat gank here. This is just a really premier way to punish the enemy top laner. Yeah, just go for something like this. Go for something like this. I knew he had his flash, so I held my flash there to follow it. Probably could have flashed the set W, to be honest, but it's no big deal. We managed to survive. I'm gonna go help shove in this wave. And then go for a reset probably afterwards. This is really good though. Getting 2 kills like this honestly should be GG every time. I mean, to be fair, it's 2-2 the score overall, so it's not like GG, but I feel really good when I get ahead on Warwick early. Like, Warwick as a champion right now feels kind of mediocre, but if you get that like 1 or 2 kills early on, you get that really early Tiamat buy, you actually feel like you're a solid champion. And I mean, at least I feel like I'm good enough to the point where I can actually make use of it. So we'll see what we do here. I'm maybe heading down to my bot side camp, so that's gone. I imagine my Raptors are gonna be gone as well, but I'm looking mid. Actually, wait. They're gonna overextend here. There's so many. There's so many stuff to, or so much stuff to go for right here. I'm gonna go for the Q follow. There we go. You follow the flag and drag. Nice. Okay, we actually managed to get that kill. That was pretty clean. My mid laner died. This is gonna be a game where I'm gonna have to 1v9, isn't it? Okay, I get these type of games. Honestly, basically every game, so I'm used to it at this point. I want to try to kill this Yasuo, see if we can cut him off. God bless. Let's go. Huge. Nice run from the Xerath there. This is honestly a more chaotic game than, I mean, normal in solo queue. But it is working kind of in my favor. So we'll just see how we can make use of it. Like, Warwick has no issues just farming away. Maybe going for an early fight. I usually definitely look for like an early fight. Maybe not forcing ganks, but looking for like a skirmish with the crab or something like that. Looking for some counter jungling. Just try to outpath the enemy jungler. But if you can get some free kills like this, then you're kind of in a golden spot. Good job top lane, though. I'm going to go ahead and reset after this Gromp. I'm level 6. I'll be able to buy my Noon Quiver. And Noon Quiver, like I mentioned previously, it's just... It makes your clear so good. And it's not even just the fact it makes your clear good. It's also the fact that it gives you 30 AD and 15% attack speed. Like, this is really good. 55 AD, 15% attack speed just with these 2 items. So my gank's gonna be strong, my fighting's gonna be really strong. Like, Warwick actually scales so well off of attack damage. People don't really realize that, but he scales really well off of AD. The issue right now is just the fact that this season there's not really any good AD options for him. At least for a mythic, so he can't make like completely good use of it. Okay, nice. Now another just free kill handed to me. That one was literally handed to me. We'll try to punish by taking the dragon, I think, off of that. Yes, sir. No problem. I am eyeballing this blue buff as well. We have a ward there, so we can see if J4 picks it up. Okay, he's mid lane. I should be able to actually contest. I'm not gonna lie, considering this bot lane is kind of low, I'm really strong. I have my ultimate up. I think I'm going to be looking to just try to steal this blue or fight him here. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and just do that. See how he responds. He was surprisingly passive. I thought he was going to just engage on me, but Yasuo was too far away to really follow up. And I was confident that I'd be able to just kill him there. To be honest, I think if Jarvan really committed everything, I didn't have flash or anything, so yes, I was going to kill him. But that might have given them enough time for his teammates to react. I mean, I think my teammates would have responded as well, but if I died there, I have a big bounty, so it was a little bit risky. I definitely play on the edge, which is... It's a strength and a weakness for sure. If you're wanting to play more consistent, don't go for greedy plays like that, but if you're trying to play to your limits... You know, do it at your own risk. That's all I'll say. I am... Go ahead and do this. We'll clear out some vision. I'm kind of looking bot lane, but because Morgana has black shield, I don't know if we can really grab it. Like, I think there's a good chance I'll be able to kill her and survive, but it's very far out of the way. I'm not 100% sure it'll work. So if it doesn't work out, it's going to be very punishing. It's going to throw my lead, and I'm not going to go ahead and go for it, so. This is... Actually... I think he's... I'm trying to bait him into... There we go, I'm going to... Okay, right there, what I did is that was like a hard bait. Oh, another hard bait. Using my Q there to avoid the knockup. I know the timing and how to Q the Jarvan EQ combo, so that's what I was. Because I know he wanted to go for the EQ, knock me up, and get Yasuo in there. Because I Q'd the Jarvan combo, obviously it doesn't knock me up and just CC me in general, but it also means Yasuo can't get in there, so that's just really free. And then the Yasuo comes in, and yeah, it's just a jungle difference. That was honestly that's just pure mechanics. Pure Warwick mechanics. But you're able to express it more if you're going to a more offensive build like this. Like I said, we have so much AD, so we're able to punish really hard if we get a nice outplay like that. Plus we heal a lot, so. Skin's OP, it says. Is it? Is this skin OP? I think, by the way, this is definitely the best work skin by far. The chromos are all pretty decent, but yeah, Old God is definitely the best work skin in the game. It actually just makes work feel better. So if you play Warwick, I know a lot, and you want to buy a skin, definitely get Old God. I highly recommend it because it's just so good. I'm gonna come around here. Drop this. We'll be patient. I'm gonna hit this a little bit. Nice. Be patient there. We'll go ahead. Lead this over to the tier 2. I have a lot of gold to spend, but I'm able to punish. So if I'm able to punish, I'm going to stay on the map right now while I'm at it. We can take that. We can go for more counter jungling. Red's not up. Our Raptor's up, though. Raptors are up. Honestly, I kind of want to just maybe kill the Jarvan. I'm up 3 levels on him. Holy moly, dude. I didn't even notice that. The EQ's over. Oh, yeah, we kill him here. Follow the EQ. Okay, there we go. We'll just do this. I definitely held my Q there probably way too long. Okay. That was a misclick. I did not mean to right-click the ground right there, but it's fine. It makes the game interesting, I suppose. Sure. Yeah, that's not how you want to play it out, but it's whatever. Definitely, we're definitely going to go with played steel caps this game. They have 3 AD or auto attack based champions. Definitely really good. You could go Berserker Greaves, honestly, 4 more damage. It's not really a problem. But I think the tankiness is going to be superior. I think you really need the tankiness on Warwick if you have the opportunity to get it. So we'll grab that. We're going to get some health crystals. This gives us more tankiness as well. So our damage is nuts with Kraken right now. And I mean, we're not super tanky, but we're tanky enough to not get, blown up right away. We're like a fighter or a bruiser right now in terms of tankiness. Like a Jax or something. Which is right where we want to be. Again, we're not going to be a hard diver, but... Oh, damn, actually. Hit by that. Thought I juked it. Not a hard diver. But we don't want to be building glass cannon in this champion. Not really able to use it very well. Let's just go ahead and just start the dragon. My ult's coming up. If they do rotate on me, I'll be able to get away with my ultimate. And hopefully my teammates are here to fight back, though. Gotta commit to it. Again, we'll use EQ there. We'll R through the Morgana binding. There we go. Can't be CC during it. Oh, that was a nice fear. That was unintentionally, actually, but no. It was totally intended. I feared the Yuumi as she came out, so she can't swap. We'll shove it in the side lane here. We see the Yasuo. Okay. Oh, yeah, he has his Immortal Shield Bow. Okay, I inted that. I definitely inted that quite a bit. There. I didn't take into account a Shield Bow. I thought I was going to be able to get that free kill. It's fine. I don't have a big bounty, so it's not a big deal. I got a quicker recall. I guess that's what we can play it off as. Just a fast B. Sure. I guess it was a 30-second death timer, so I don't know if it's a fast B, but I guess. We got Titanic. This is I mean, I didn't really want to say this is the biggest power spike you have with this build, but it's up there. Your damage is super high, you're really tanky. Like the Titanic Hydra completing this gives you so much on-hit damage, which synergizes so well with Kraken. Gives you really good AoE. I mean, if you ult someone right now, they're going to be melted. If I ult this Yuumi, I will do 80% of her health right now. 100%. If I ult the Morgana, I'll do half her health at least. So we'll take those camps, move up to our top side. I'm definitely looking to push my lead right now. Like, I want to keep farming. I don't want to be wandering around too much and doing nothing. But I don't want to be sitting back and just power farming. That's not how you want to utilize your lead on anyone, really. I mean, I guess if you're playing something like a Kale, I guess you could go for it, but like a Cassidon, but we're not playing a hyper carry. I mean, as I mentioned before, Warwick's late game right now this season is pretty good, but it's not that good to the point where you're just going to play like that. Okay, so Darius recalled. I wanted to shove this in, crash the wave. Oh wait, there's not even a tier 2 tier here. Never mind. Okay, I don't know. Guess we just farm, no problem. We see the Jarvan, and we got him with his W. He's gonna try to hunt for us, but he has no teammates nearby. I don't think he's going to really go for it right now. Go. You can see the damage right there. It's just crazy. I mean, that wasn't all my damage, but that was mostly my damage. I just completely shredded that Morgana. And we can just continue counter jungling. The one thing you need to keep in mind with Warwick, of course, is your siege is pretty mediocre. So, nothing too special. So we're going to go ahead and just do some farming. Instead, we can help out with this. I think he needs the help. I'll ward over the wall. Just make sure we're not getting flanked. And again, we're going to be going into Steric's Gauge as our next item. We got Dragon coming up in 50 seconds. I can probably afford to take Raptors and maybe Krugs before Dragon's up. Let's go ahead and just recall. I want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're at the Dragon at least 10 seconds before it spawns. Like, you want to be at there at least 10 seconds before it spawns. You don't want to be there right when it spawns because you won't have priority over the Dragon area. You want to be able to fight for position. So yeah, I think recalling at like 45 seconds is probably going to be your best bet. 30 seconds is like the minimum. So we can use our W here. Move in, get some vision. And we're obviously super far ahead, so we should be able to just get this dragon uncontested. I'm not sure if they're actually looking to fight. I doubt they are. They're probably going to be looking for like power spikes. Of course, it is solo queue. They could just be tilted. You never know how people are going to play, but strategically speaking, they shouldn't be looking for a fight yet. They should be looking for a fight in like a couple minutes, basically. Flash. All right. I really want to get like a team fight to really showcase just how this plays in team fights, because so far it's just been a lot of just generic early game jungling, and you can see like the damage it does and stuff and the carry potential, but I do want to showcase how this does in team fights. Oh, speaking of, let's go. Again, we're not playing for the dive. Okay. Oh, I say we're not playing for the dive, but like, I was in a position to get the Yasuo there. That is really bad. I don't know how he lost that so hard. I thought I could just kill the Yasuo, then kill the Yuumi afterwards or something. And my teammates would be able to fight back, but they just all died, so I just got collapsed on. Wait. Okay, Fizz. This looks like Tyler 1's Fizz. I wouldn't go that far, but I'd say it's challenging the T1 Fizz. Yeah, I don't really know what happened to that fight, to be honest. I'm going to assume like Zai, our bot lane just got blew up. I really don't know, but it's fine. We're still in a command, a strong spot this game. I mean, honestly, even if we like lose like 2 fights in a row or lose the Baron, like we're still like 1 dragon away from the soul, so that's always going to be a win condition here. I'm actually going to go over here. Rugs. And I mean, I mentioned in this guide that you're playing, you know, really front to back. But it's not necessarily front to back. I think that probably is a little bit of a misnomer. Or misnomer. It's really just you're wanting to focus down one target at a time without being too committed. You just don't want to commit too much. So it doesn't really matter the angle that you take. You just want to make sure that you're picking one person apart. This guy wants blue, sure. He's not really that fed, but I mean, it is a Zera, so I'll just let him have it. I don't really need the blue buff. Okay. Okay. You can see that's the Stairix there, though. I'm surprisingly tanky. I'm deceptively tanky. My damage there, you can see it's nuts. I'm actually still surprised I managed to survive that fight. It's just that's just the Stairix gauge. That's why you go Stairix after these items, because it just helps out so much. You go from being like a glass cannon carry to still having tons of damage, but you're just so hard to burst down in combination with E. We get a Baron for free. We'll take it. I'm not sure what I want to get next. Definitely a Death's Dance or a GA. I just gotta like decide on which one looks better. I suppose I could go for anti-healing as well, actually. One in our team is building Grievous Wounds. That's honestly probably part of the problem. I probably should be the one to build it. I mean, I don't want to be the one to build it. I'd prefer building tankier items. But if I have to be the one to build it, I'll go ahead and just do it. Damn. I knew that Morgana was there, and I still, like, didn't juke out her Q. Even though I knew it was coming. What is this FF vote? Dude, I swear, in solo queue, just the most random FF votes come out all the time, and just, it tilts me, man, it tilts me. I'm not tilted right now, but just in general, it tilts me. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be the one to build Grievous Wounds, so we'll go for it. I mean, I guess sometimes it's like a, you know, I guess like a, you know, wake up guys type of FF. You know, we needed a group for the dragon, we didn't group for the dragon. Pay attention, focus. But still. I'd rather you just type it than use FF vote. We got the soul. I don't know how we got the soul after all of that, but we'll take it. And I'm gonna be looking to join the fight here. We're getting Chempunk. Actually, Thornmail would actually be pretty good this game as well. But we'll go with the Chempunk. Actually, I think Thornmail actually would have been better. But yeah, the damage, man, the damage. You see the damage. That's the damage of Kraken Slayer. If you get these really just like spaced out skirmishy fights, it's just so free. Because the weakness, like I said, is just you're kind of squishy. And it's easy to get locked down and CC'd sometimes, but if you're not going to get locked down and punished for it, then you have the DPS to follow through. Okay. Again, though, I really want to get, like, you know, a good team fight. We haven't really gotten it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and just back off. I want to go over here, grab the Gromp, reset, regroup. Actually, I might look to fight here. Might look to fight. Let's go ahead and grab the Chempunk. Okay, we'll get a stopwatch. The stopwatch will actually allow us to go more ham in fights. I'm probably not going to use it to go ham, though. I mean, I guess we'll really see how it goes, but it gives you that option. It gives you the option to actually commit to the dive, get a pick in the back line, but it also just makes you way, way harder to kill if you are playing that front line, or that not front line, back line, I guess. I think we can just look to shove top. I think a fight's about to break out. Definitely not going to just let us take this inhib free. I'm going to blue smite. Use our Q there to avoid the... We'll do the stopwatch. He actually queued his ultimate. Yeah, just kind of more like this. Maybe not the best example, but that's honestly how it goes half the time. You can't get the perfect example every game you play, I guess. Do want to? Okay, wait. She's doing too much damage. No. I ruined my KDA, fellas. I ruined it. Wait, did we? Okay, we're definitely gonna win. Sarah just walks up. Okay. Never mind. All right, that's Kraken Slayer Warwick. Yeah. I mean, hopefully, I'll be posting more gameplay videos, if you guys are wondering, of Kraken Slayer Warwick. Kind of showcasing the playstyle a little bit more. So if you want to see a better example, more to come this week for sure. But that's the gist of it. You see the damage that it provides. You see the potential there. The only thing I didn't really showcase too well was the team fights, especially in an even game. When it's an even game, it's a little bit different. Like when I'm super fed, of course, I'm not going to get one shot. But it really does, like, this build is surprisingly effective when you're behind. So, I'm not going to lie. We'll give it to the Fizz. GG, guys. But that's it for me. Peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you guys, after you guys try out this build, what you think of the build in general. And peace out. Have a good one.